Yeah, it's a bingo has extra. What? Bingo selling extra free pixel. Push it. Somebody sell things. Yeah. Wow. What? Yeah.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Or you start off. I've got to be worth it.
כתוב עדיין אין מלאכה ולא משעה כל מי בדבורים. You give credit for
Well, we're gonna.
Okay. The parsha today, it's about, call Isha Chak Maslev Biyodea Tov. She did it with her own hands. So, Abochel had a shaila. He had a cast on his hand, an entire hand. And also b'makam Hanachos Tefillin. So the question was, what should he do?
Left hand or right hand?
The hand that he needs to use for putting on tefillin. The Hainu, if he was a righty, his left hand had a cast, and the whole hand had a cast on it. So Shiloh was, where should he put on tefillin? So Demis says, that's the question. Okay. So Demis says, the Alter Rebbe brings it, Allah and Simach of Zayin Sifches. The Alter Rebbe says, Mokim, it's not in the paper you have, we'll get to the paper in a second. Mokim yesh b'kaboris lan yesh nay tefillin. However, imamak al kol ha-kiboris, mitzvah, potter me mitzvahs tefillin. If it's mitzvah, he's potter from putting on tefillin. However, the Kaf HaChaim rings that every day, even if a person is potter from doing a mitzvah, if he uses out the ptur, he still doesn't have the schus of doing the mitzvah. And every day there's a special schus in doing the mitzvah. So he should try very hard to calm himself down that he shouldn't be mitzvah. And the Alter Rebbe says that if you could, you should put smartutin ala makkah, and you should put on the tefillin without a bracha. So, but others say, and then it's also the Arizal, it's kedai better to put it on the right hand, where the person usually puts, with a smartutin. They should put it whatever is the right hand, whatever is behim the yad keya. That's where he should put it, even though if he's putting it with smartutin. The Pri Megadim does say that they should put it on the other hand. They should put it on the other hand. But the Alter Rebbe brings the halacha. You should bring it on. You should put it on his regular weak hand, and you should put it on the smartutin without a bracha. Now, a cast here is a little different than a smartutin. A cast is. It's not just a little smartutin. It's okay. So the truth is, lagabe the bracha. Smartutin is a little shmata. This is a smartutin.
Yeah.
Well, it's made out of tissue, so it's not a smartutin. But
it's more money.
It's made out of cloth would be called smartutin.
You mean his arm is covered with this smartutin?
Yeah. Okay. But a cast is much more than just a smartutin. So there's two problems. Number one,
the tefillin is not going to fit over there.
Exactly. It's a practical question, and also it's a question: it's like worse than even smartutin. So I think with the cast, it's kedai to put it on the other hand. Why is it worse? It's like not on his hand. It's a smartutin, huh? Yeah, the emphasis smartutin. Either way, the truth is you can't make a bracha. The difference is not so huge.
It doesn't make a bracha.
But the lafoil for the Lubavitch is not negeya. Of course, we're more in Svara that we make only one bracha, and we have in mind from Sholyad from Shadosh. So you can make a bracha anyways. You're making a bracha a little early. It's be'oisa inyan. So you can argue and say no, he shouldn't make the bracha until he puts on the tefillin shel roish. He's mesasek. It's not like a type of hefsek, which would say that this is ruining the bracha. So therefore, the truth is, it's not a huge difference if he puts it on the hand with the cast of the other hands. It really comes down to the practical question. Because either way, mitzad, even if he has a thin smartutin, he can't make the bracha anymore. So shaila is what's better. What's better? The Alter Rebbe says you should put it on his regular hand with a smartutin. It's that way, but with a not without a bracha. But I said Lubavitch makes no difference anyway. They only make one bracha on the shiyad and the sharosh, and the sharosh he's putting on. The elamai. The problem is he's making a little bit of a hefsek. But what kind of hefsek is he making? He's making a hefsek with something which is shaykh to Hanachos Tefillin.
I can't put tefillin on my sleeve. On my hand.
The krichas, you could ask a question. The krichas, you could ask a question. The actual, that's it. That's smartutin. He loses the bracha. He didn't do the mitzvah.
Maybe that's something. No.
It's mashma that it's not just myself. It's mashma that has to be on the also. So that was
It's like Prima Godim. Put it on this hand and then you over this hand or something.
No, but I don't think the Prima Godim meant to make a bracha. He just meant also without a bracha. The shaila was, what's the better eitzah? So I'm saying when a person has a cast, so maybe the better eitzah is to put on the other hand because it's like it won't stick. It won't stick on the hand. Because a smartutin, so it sticks on the hand. Schenken, a big fat cast that's going from ear to ear, it might not b'chal stick. So there is such a shita. Either way, it's without a bracha. Okay.
When he puts his hand on, then he puts it on. It says the bracha.
No, I said he should put on the bracha before he puts it on the hand because that's what the person. This was a boy. He was 15 years old, and it's confusing. And I'm going to do this way. He'll make the bracha, like he regular makes the bracha, and not going to make a hefsek, and the bracha is going to go also to Tefillin Shorosh. So what's the big deal that he made a little bit of a hefsek, and it's within the union of Hanachos Tefillin? That's better than starting to do things differently than he usually does. Okay, so minyan linyan. Sometimes you meet a yid and you put on tefillin with them, so that you take their hand and you put on tefillin. So the shaila is the chezuk sharta is the mitzvah that the person has to tie because you're tying it. He's standing like he's standing like a koif, and he just puts out his hand, and you're putting on the tefillin. So the shaila is kshartam. So there's a nice letter over here. There's a nice letter. We'll go through quickly, and if we don't have any time to finish all the lumdas, maybe we'll finish a little bit tonight. A letter from the Rebbe to Hagon Reb Shloim Yosef Zevin. The Rebbe calls him Rav Hagon Rav Chosid Ishirei Lekim Oyse B'Tzor Chitzibu Tzana Molo Sifre. He was a Tzana Molo Sifre. He was a Yid that he personally wrote the first few volumes of Encyclopedia Talmudis. He wrote personally without a staff. They have a staff. Huge staff that are writing it, and the Baruch Hashem holding it ready by Ois Lamed, man. Anyway, he was a Gven Ayid, was a Tzanam al Sifra, and he was sick, Nabach, and Posha couldn't move his hand. So someone else was putting on film. So he asked the Rebbe if he can make a bracha on the film because he's not doing Sharta. Huh?
That's the question.
Exactly. The person's never so sick. The matzav, it bothered him. It seemed a lot. And here there's a letter from the Rebbe. The first in the main letter, the letter that you have bracha. I'm going to read your letter by my father-in-law's Tzion. Bracha, loirichan b'shanim toivis, absurdus toivis, befrad menagelet tzakipudya talmudis. That the Rebbe is encouraging him. As we know, this was not just this was also a shita by the Rebbe. I thought Yid is never so sick. Can't move a hand, can't move his hand. The Rebbe is writing to him, I'm giving you a bracha that you should keep on publishing on another book and another book. But this was also mahalach and avodas Hashem kilu. You're like klape shmaya galia. That this Yid has to live and be healthy because he has to still publish. He has to still do. We know this story was with many choshev Yidin. There was a story that was told in Gem by Talmud from Reb Nachum Partzovitz. The Rebbe told him that he must write his Chidush Torah. Anyway, he realized later he got that this is like we gave him another year or two of life. That Reb Nochem Partzovis, he was a Rosh Yeshiva in the Miri Yeshiva, the son-in-law of Reb Chaim Shmulevitz. Yeah, no, it's all. It was the Shurim, back of the Shurim that he published are Mosek Medvash. Anyway,
we know, I mean, not to make any difference, right? We know who his writing hand. That was not well.
I don't know. So I mean, this guy is it's his other hand that's shvach because it's the Yad Kaya that you're putting on film. Latoicha Michtav now. Oh, yeah. Boy Kosev, welcome back.
Thank you.
Boy Kosev.
Rabbi as well.
Yeah.
We were in the right place.
Yes. Boy Kosev, shebnei achut she'acher maniach lo tefillin, v'hu rak mahadek, or gam pochus mize, hamut loi b'tzorich levorech. Lafian is daiti mevorech b'kal v'fema meniket. The kiven she'mazmin asaidus, mochuyev malkus mi in ha'toyre makis dafkof amid beis. And the Gemara asks, the Mishnah says that a person that cuts off his payas, barber and the person both get malchus. The Gemara asks, Mela the barber because he cut the payas, but the person the person himself, he didn't cut, he didn't do anything. It's not quite a lav shame by Maisa. So the Gemara says, no, because he was Messiah. Rashi says, Mazmin, because he made his payas available to the barber to cut it off, that itself is called a Maisa. That itself is called a Maisa. That itself is already called a Maisa. So that's a Kal V'chomer. That over there he didn't do anything. He doesn't. It sounds from the Gemara he doesn't even have to move his head to the right or to the left. Shenkim, when you put on film, the person has to a little bit move his hand, make his hand available. So that's probably why that Rebbe is saying Kal V'chomer. And that Emma says that Rebbe says even if you say Minat Toidum, the person has to put it on, but at least with the Rabbanon, on a mitzvah the Rabbanon you would have to make a bracha. I'm not sure why the Rebbe is adding this in the brackets. Then the Rebbe brings from the Shilas of Chuvas Tzemach Tzedek that has a discussion about someone Nebach.
Maybe he'll be a spotter in the Rabbanon.
Yeah, but then there's such a Rabbanon chiyuv. Where would you find such a chiyuv? The mitzvah is mederaisa. Yeah, nish. Where's there a middle? Where do we find a middle ground? Not sure why. Then he brings from Tzemach Tzedek that Tzemach Tzedek has a discussion about a person that his nebach is missing his zeroya yamin, and the Rebbe says that he doesn't ever, like Tzemach Tzedek says, the mederaisa he's putting on film. That his film is considered film mederaisa. Could we have to look in that Tzemach Tzedek Shuvah to know what he meant in the brackets about it? That Rabbanon spotters. Somebody. Yeah. We spoke about it once, and because it goes into a big discussion. It's vices. This happened by one of the sons of the Tzemach Tzedek.
But if you're missing a hand, how you can put?
Oh, that's what I was saying. If he's missing a hand, how is he putting on film?
Somebody has.
Someone else is putting.
That's it.
So the same thing he brings that I turn the page from the Mishnah Berurah. The same thing as the Tzemach Tzedek. Also, with the source of the Mishnah Berurah says in Simon Chav Zayin Sekot Vov B'Chenim Anichim Lo Yitfilin Nagei LaBracha. He says that if nebach a person has only one hand, so the Mishnah Berurah says he should ask other people to put on tefillin for him. So Mistimus Loshen, the Mishnah Berurah, he doesn't say, he should. But by the way, he has a problem that he can't make a bracha. So aside from the Tzemach Tzedek, Mistimus Loshen, aside from the Mishnah Berurah. Zero isi, ze atar isi. The Rebbe says, I just saw in the Sefer Ma'aseh L'chol HaMachnas. Seems like a Sefer that Rebbe used a lot. It was a Choshev Aminkach Chosid. He started to write like an encyclopedia, like a Pischei Tshuvas that today from Rabbi Rabinovich, but he just got stuck in Orach Chaim Simon Chavtes or something. But it's a very nice Sefer. It's like Yishmak Sefer, and he brings all the Oshakovitaria of everyone. That's why he called the Sefer Me'aseh L'chol HaMachnas. He was a very, very strong chassid of the Minchas Elazar. I think he's the one that the famous book, that the diary of Minchas Elazar in Eretz Yisrael is written by him. Others for him. Yeah. Anyway, so he brings a whole bunch of Shalos Teshuvos that talk about Chochmah Shloimeh. Even Vema says that all come out. All of them are Hungarian poskim. It might have been a similar shaila was sent, to in the same Medina by one Rav to four different poskim. He brings from Rabbi Yehuda Arya, Misar Dahel, Maram Shik, Machne Chaim. And these are all three, different cities around Hungary. So Mustama was a similar shaila that was asked, and also from Chura Shai. Also, it was also Rabbi Yosef Tabak. Also, it was also
Tabak is Iraq.
no Tabak is Shmek Tabak. He has
But he's Iraqi. The last name Tabak is
yeah. Okay, it's like sometimes you have a Sfard, his name is Ashkenazi.
Oh, yeah.
The longest of the four chuvas is the Manam Shik, and it's funny. The Rebbe thinks that Avuan, the Kulan, the Shas Makas and all, but the strongest raya is the Shas Makas. Even though he mentions it, but to him, the biggest long thing in the Manam Shik is if a person put on film by night and then kept on wearing film by day, is he Yoitz the mitzvah film? He says yes. Why? Because the mitzvah is not to tie the film. The mitzvah is from Ukshartam we learn dinim. I mean, obviously it has to get some way onto your hand, but the mitzvah really is
When it's a day and night.
no, by Lila's Lav's Mant film.
Oh, Lila is not.
Right, you have to take off the film by night. Anyway, that's when the Rabboni have to take it off. But Lila's Lav's Mant film. So he said, what happens if I put on film before this man of Hanachos Tefillin, and then he keeps on davening. I was just saying last week that Aguda is trying to there's a big zeta, a terrible zeta coming with the Klal Yisrael, that they want to make that the daylight saving should be permanent. That daylight saving should be permanent. Trump wants to do that.
Is that better?
The Aguda says that it's a zeta against Klal Yisrael. Why? Because in Detroit, it's true. For Detroit, it'll be a problem. Netzachama, there'll be a few days, and Netzachama is 8:00. So a guy, 8:00, 8:01 or something. Nicht gefährlich. Ich mach latzonas. I'm saying it's not so big zeta against Klal Yisrael. Because to me, there's the flip side that many more Yidden are going to make it for Zman Krishma and Zman Tefillah. They're thinking about the Yid in Detroit that's word that has to be in your. It has to show up at 9. And if Netzacham is at 8, he has a problem.
Right.
He has a problem. It's true.
Yeah,
I'm saying
I was there in the winter.
they have a problem.
For 8:00 in the morning.
Right. So they have a problem. So but I can't say for the whole America that this is Zayda against Klal Yisrael. I think there'll be many people.
They can move the time zone.
I mean,
The most eastern part.
All right.
daylight is not what we want. Daylight is summertime.
They want to make it.
Daylight, I'm saying daylight right now. 2 years now is summertime or
I'm also I don't know. All I know is that President Trump wants to make that the whole year should be daylight savings. That means that 4:00, not in the winter, that you see 4:00 all of a sudden. It's difficult for people to live this way.
Someone said that he changed his mind.
Anyway, the Aguda is saying that they're working overtime to be mevatel this terrible gzeda against Klal Yisrael. Yeah, but I don't think it's such a terrible gzeda.
They have a button, but
I hear. They're working. I'm just ich mach latzonis. Covered Purim. I'm not. I'm making light of it because I understand there are certain communities that will be affected by it, but I think there's a flip side also. That how many thousands of Yidden are going to make it for Zman Krishma?
everybody sure makes my Krishma.
It's not impossible. But I'm saying all over the country, and really what happens is that the winter is depressing. That Shki is happening at 4:00 already. Think about people that have. I don't know why they think it's such a gzeda against Klal Yisrael. Think about people that have jobs on Friday, and they have to run home for Shabbos. And even though they say it's Shabbos. It's Mishnah Zay Poshet. So the Goyim say, yeah, whatever, we give you off.
People get up train at 3:30 on Friday.
We see it all the time. And there's someone that comes Arshul, he comes from the train, he puts his muktzah straight over here, right? So for him, if Shabbos was instead of Shkia being 4:15 was 5:15, it would be a huge thing. It's the same. It's not the pshat that his employer will say, "Oh, I know." No. Friday. Jews have Friday, but still, listen. You want to work in our office, so we'll give you. Okay, so we'll let you go off 45 minutes early, an hour early. But that's it. It is what it is. That's it. Shine. The guy don't want to hear. So I don't see why it's the biggest gazette against Klal Yisrael to have. For David, it's going to be a problem. David lives in Detroit, and
the Shabbos starts so late anyway. It's like 10 hours later.
yeah, but if they're going to make that's what anyway.
In the morning.
Ask David if he thinks it's such a terrible thing to make that there should be daylight savings a whole year. If David says it's not a problem, then we're going to say it's not a problem.
But this will help the government?
No, the government wants to ban, right?
No, the government. Why is it going to help? I don't know why.
In Israel, they don't have daylight savings.
No, in Israel they don't have.
Are they changing Hagos or so?
They do?
You sure?
Oh yeah.
They changed.
Oh, I'm sorry. So they do.
They changed it either last night or.
Oh, yeah.
Confirmed.
The truth is, I see in the calendar.
Yeah.
Huh?
Arizona,
They're asking for-
No, Arizona's the opposite. They have the change all year round. Yeah. They have daylight saving all year round. Arizona's okay. So anyway, back to our thing. Let's finish reading this piece. Lafiani is daitoi. Ein loy med ivarach kimet shanoch b'furim hum gufa da meshaleach. Rak hanoch v'hiduk al yidei shliach. Don't tell me a different svara. That the word is that the kilu is a shliach and there's a meshaleach, and the Hanachos Tefillin is on begufa da meshaleach. Nimtz tzlaim and Hanoch iker. If you're going to say that putting on the tefillin is the mitzvah, not the tefillin being on you is the mitzvah, so then you'd have to put on the tefillin. Elamai, yeah. Elamai, no. I think it's very bekitza. Elamai, the Rebbe is saying, I think what the Rebbe is saying is that the mitzvah is not putting on the tefillin. The mitzvah is that the tefillin should be on you, like the Maram Shik. The Rebbe didn't see the Maram Shik, but I think it was, he came to the same conclusion.
Why didn't he see them?
He didn't have it in his office today. I was very good. I'm better than Lubavitch Rebbe. I went click, and I had the Maram Shik. But the Rebbe didn't have Oitza Chochma. He had a limited library. He had books, whatever he had. He didn't have what he doesn't have.
He had Chochmah here.
Yeah, he had Oitza Chochma here.
Yeah.
Whatever sefer he read, he probably remembered pretty well, but a sefer he didn't have. But today, me and you, we Gedolei Olam. Me and you could look every sefer. There isn't a sefer.
They said about Arab, what they said, he had the library 10 times bigger than this wall.
Yeah.
And one time, the Hazan, Chaskel Tzion from Bet Torah, went to visit him, and the Shamas, whoever there, told them, if you take a sefer, you have to put it back exactly where, because he knows every sefer where it is.
Yeah.
When he go look, take it, he knows exactly. So he told him, don't put it somewhere else. He has
Mix 'em
maybe
up.
thousands for, huh?
They mix them up.
Yeah.
Every sefer.
But it would be not ask you a question or give you the memo.
It's unbelievable. Okay, so bottom line is, back to the boy that had the cast. Probably better to put on the other hand. They can put it on the cast either way, and he can make the bracha, and then
Because we can't now switch around, no?
it's a schwache svara. But I think the upshot here is lagabe mefzoim. When you put on film with another yid, that's what we do a lot of times.
Listen to the read. It's like they can get hold of a child. Because that guy's not going to do the mitzvah.
No, then it's lagabe the bracha. That you have to make the bracha for him. Well, that's a different thing. But it's big for you. It's big for you. If Taka, the mitzvah would have been that he has to do the cheetah.
Yeah.
So they take his hand and start.
I didn't do.
But it's not good.
No.
Anyway, Adasin alahochi that the Lubavitch Rebbe says, you see the Maram Shik, that the mitzvah is not the cheetah, but it should be on you.
Right.
So better, because if you're going to find a person you want to put on tefillin, you start. Yeah, you got to make it happen in 90 seconds.
Yeah.
If it happens in 90 seconds,
It's what happened.
it's a good experience.
In the mitzvah, what better? Ukshatim that the guy said, put it himself?
No,
Or the mitzvah that
the
the first time in his life he's putting tefillin.
that it's done, that the mitzvah is done. Okay.
Just very quickly. I didn't hear the right beginning. of the child. I think, nothing very good. I got the shop actually, but whatever you say that they should put the throne, killing the kid,
On the other hand,
the hand, even if it's not, even if he's a left or righty, whatever
Yeah.
the case is.
put on the other hand.
And the other good thing is what was that course you used for you?
What?
The course that you said, how would you call it in Hebrew?
The cost?
Course.
Oh, the smartutin.
Smart.
Number what
Smart
was that used for? That's what you need.
To wipe the nose, to a band-aid.
What would you use? I'm saying, what it come in, how to come in to the Shiloh, what are you supposed to do with it?
Because Shulchan Aruch says that if he has a makkah, he should put a smartutin. He should put a cloth and put the tefillin on
And
it.
fill it over.
You know what is
Sure.
smartut in Hebrew?
Come on.
When you don't like someone, he's
Yeah,
nothing, he's
He does.
smartut.
Question that someone asked. Let me ask first a question that's Negei Lamaisa, and then we'll get to the last question, which is not so Negei Lamaisa. Someone asked if you say Tachanun today. Well, that Shulchan Aruch is mashma that the days that, like Alter Rebbe, if you look in the Siddur, he says the days you don't say Tachanun, he gives a list. He says Purim Cotton, Shahu Yom Yudalad V'Tezvav Adar Rishon Purim Gadol. So it's only day 14 and 15. In Yerushalayim today they're eating Sudas Purim and giving Mishloach Manas. Pshat is not that today is Purim. Yesterday was Purim. Bahoraya. That the Ala Nisim was said on Shabbos by them. They don't say today. It's a funny thing. They say Ala Nisim on Shabbos. So today they're going to have Sudas Purim without the Ala Nisim, which is a very funny. Yeah, that's the din of Shulchan Aruch. It's a very funny thing. They're eating Sudas Purim and they're not saying with Ala Nisim, and that's Lapoil the din of Shulchan Aruch. Maybe there's a shita hin, shita here, but Lapoil, that's what they're doing right now in Yerushalayim.
It wasn't always in today. That's it. Wasn't the mayor.
So you see that the Nes, it's not the pshat that today it's Elamai because we're scared that Shema Yavir, the Aladamas, the Mishloach Monas and Sudas Purim are connected a little bit because you're sending monas so the people should have food for their table. Even though today, me and you, it doesn't work that way. It's like
how?
Yeah, sometimes when it's like this year, some people sell chalas. But Lapoil, that's theoretically the Shloich Monas is Purim are connected. So therefore. But there's a deal from the Rebbe that I mentioned once, that the Rebbe says, what's a pshat that the Alter Rebbe says, that Purim Cotton, Shehu Yudalad V'Tezvav. You understand, it's Yudalad V'Tezvav. And why does he say Dafka by Purim Cotton, Shehu Yudalad V'Tezvav? The Rebbe said a beautiful word, that there is Purim Cotton, that there was many communities that had Purim called a Purim Cotton. They had a miracle that happened to them. And so that's what the Alter Rebbe makes it clear. Purim Cotton, Shehu, Yud Gimel, Yudalad V'Tezvav, Ba'ad Rishon. So last night I saw a cute story of a community that still keeps a Purim Cotton. So there's a beautiful Jewish community in Gibraltar. There's a community in Gibraltar, Adar. There's a frum community, a very nice community at the edge of Spain, the bottom of Spain.
It's actually very strong in here from Cape.
Yeah.
There's a Kollel there.
Yeah. I was there when, and there's a big rock. It's called the Rock of Gibraltar. There's monkeys jumping around there. So very nice. The Rav in the town. His wife was driving a car. She stopped. She asked if we need anything. We don't need anything. We were just there for a day. But from Gibraltar, you could go. You could take a boat. Not mamish from Gibraltar, but you could take a boat and you could be in Africa in a half hour. So,
Morocco.
Yeah, it could be Morocco.
Spain is also right above.
So yeah, verstehe. But that's why the English wanted to have the Rock of Gibraltar because they gave them a little bit of a koyach to what's going on. It gave them a certain koyach what's going on in the oceans. So there's a Jewish community there for very, very long, and but the kids said the Purim cotton that they have, a very, very funny Purim cotton. So this is.
When did it happen? What year?
1806.
Yeah.
They put up an native around Gibraltar. They got permission from
The British.
from the British governor of Gibraltar. That's the Shena Vonsen Azalche. Vonsen means no, Vonsen our mustache. Not bad. and they got permission, and the Rav went. He put up an Erev. The Vaila, the British had a deal with Napoleon that he won't attack Gibraltar. The Tanai that Gibraltar is not going to agitate him. And he had a spy in Gibraltar who said that they're building a secret fortification around the city because they were building a Lechi and a Tzura and a Tzura Pesach. They're building some type of secret fortification around the city. So Napoleon said, "Okay, they broke the deal. We're going to go wipe out Gibraltar." Gibraltar is nothing. Gibraltar is they're such a small country. They don't have a space to have a landing pad for the planes. So the main highway in Gibraltar gets closed down for 15 minutes. The plane lands and then they open it up and they can weiterfahren. That's how tiny. It's a tiny country. So I think it's even smaller than Monaco and Luxembourg. It's a garnish. It's a few blocks by a few blocks. I mean, not garnish, but it's a tiny country. So the British were very nervous about it. They found out that so they asked it of. This is, I don't know if they asked it of if he could go quickly. They sent it to Napoleon and to explain that Gibraltar did not violate any agreement. They're just building aided. They're not building any secret fortification. And they said that he came and Napoleon laughed and he said, "Okay, say that. Deal's a deal." And he did not attack Gibraltar.
That's the Purim.
And then before Purim, it was Erev Purim. It was around Purim time. So Erev Purim, they have a minute to bring to each other croissants and something else. A special Shabbos. Oh, it's a special Shabbos known as Erev Purim, which community members walk through the streets carrying croissants and eclairs to each other's houses.
With the same error.
Yeah.
לזכר הנס.
He couldn't make this up. I read it last night. I couldn't stop laughing. So, yeah. They have always a funny story at the end. Sometimes it's cute. Tail end. So
Napoleon wasn't from England. He was from France.
Right, he was against the British, but they made a deal that he's not going to attack Gibraltar. Deal's a deal.
You see how France got involved also.
It's a funny story.
After a hold of the same.
No, they versteht something like that. Yeah, exactly. So the diuk. Why the Alter Rebbe said Purim Kotten Shehu Yud Dalet V'Tezvav, because he wanted to emphasize that there is still such a thing. Certain communities that keep a Purim called a Purim Kotten. They have this thing, they call it a Purim Kotten. Besides keeping the regular Purim and the Nace that happened. So they have, like in Gibraltar, Adar, they have a certain Shabbos that they call Purim Kotten, and they bring eclairs and croissants to each other. The Pashtus, why they're doing it on Shabbos, they want to show it with the Eidiv. So why are they bringing eclairs and croissants? What are they going to bring? Cholent? For dessert, so you bring, huh? Okay, because it happened with Napoleon. I don't know. Ask them why eclair and croissants. That's their Purim Kotten.
It sounds like it's a civilization.
Yeah. That's a
Connected to what happened in
Yeah.
1808.
Okay.
By the way, very quickly, I didn't hear you. You already said, well, Nisim, you say, what did they do next show today?
They don't say Aval Nisim. They said it on Shabbos. Today they give Shalach Monas and they do Sudas Purim. Yeah, because the Alter Rebbe says it. Huh? They saw the Shiloh, didn't see the text.
What about Matos Tefillin and
No, Matan Savionim and Megillah they did on Friday.
Yeah, Miguel, I know they did there.
And the kid that did it on Shabbos.
Matos Tefillin after the second also, they did rain.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. No, because once you because if you lose it's supposed to say it right away when the doors open. Once you say Kaddish,
It's not the shirt.
yeah, exactly.
But we have a din, if somebody had Nes,
Yeah.
and you come to the same place, he has to
Yes,
make
make
a
a
bracha.
bracha, yeah.
So this is like Purim Kotten.
Yeah, that's why some communities make a Purim Kotten. Someone asked about
I had an essence sign at desert.
when you go back there.
70. Since then there.
When you go there, someone
You need 10 people or?
bring eclairs there. No. Someone brought me a cake on Purim. He went to a bakery, Chantilly, and he ordered a whole bunch of cakes.
It is very good.
Mhm.